Wednesday, and then Ambassador Yovanovitch on Friday.
But Taylor testified that he was told that aid had been withheld in exchange for announcing this investigations publicly. He testified that there was a quid pro quo.
Aid was no announcement about any investigations ever took place. The Ukrainians didn't even know aid had been held up at the time of the phone call. So the facts are the facts, and I keep telling you all that those facts will not change, have not changed, despite what some people may say. And Ambassador Volker backed up those four fundamental facts in his testimony. He was the first witness called, but he's certainly not going to be based on what we've seen, he's not going to be the first guy called for the open hearing.
If one witness says that there's no quid pro quo, but multiple others says there is, what do you do with that?
We got the transcript where there's no quid pro quo.
Just of one witness, though, and there's others that...
After the transcript come out, even Democrat chairman said there's no quid pro quo. We got the two people on the call, President Zelensky, President Trump, who say no pressure, no pushing, no quid pro quo.
Who have a vested interest.
We have the fact that the Ukrainians didn't know aid was held up at the time of the call, and the aid was released, and the Ukrainians took no action to get the aid released. There was no announcement of investigations, no statement, no actual investigation started. So none of that has all happened. It's all based on what someone told someone. I'll read it to you. This is amazing from Ambassador Sondland's statements yesterday. Now, listen to this. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I had conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmak on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. Now, who in the heck can follow that? Someone told someone that I told someone that someone else knew about this in a different meeting? That's what the other people's testimony is based on. Ambassador Volker, the special envoy, understands exactly what happened, those facts I just conveyed to you.
But there's one...
Morrison and Taylor both said very
Ambassador
clearly...
Sondland, Congressman, I want to ask you about Ambassador Sondland's testimony. Sorry, just kind of spreading the love over here. What do you make of the fact that he said he himself talked to Ukrainians and said, you need to do this if you want to get aid? Where do you think he went rogue, or where do you think he would possibly?
He said he was making a presumption. That's in his statement yesterday. He made a presumption based on we'd have to go back and look at Mr. Sondland what he said based on a presumption. All I'm telling you is the facts have never changed. They will never change. Those facts are consistent. Those facts are clear. And Ambassador Volker, in his testimony, as the special envoy, as the guy who is the professional here, the guy who has been focused on this, who's the special envoy to Ukraine, backed all that up in his testimony. But, no one wants to talk about that. The Democrats don't want to call him as the first witness, even though he was the first witness to be deposed. That I find interesting. And I do got to run, guys. I'm sorry.
Taylor both testified that Sondland was told by the president that this is the reason why the...
You know what Sondland was told by the president? He said there was no quid pro quo, and I want Zelensky to do what he said. And what did Zelensky say he wanted to do? It's on the call. He says, I want to drain the swamp in Kyiv just like you're doing in Washington. So that's what Sondland, when he talked to the president was very clear. No quid pro quo. I want Zelensky to do what he said. And what did Zelensky say on the call that he wanted to do? Zelensky's the one who brought it up. He says, I want to drain the swamp in Ukraine just like the president's doing here in the United States.
Who are Republicans going to call to testify?
And there you have it. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, staunch defender of President Trump, likely giving us a preview of what we can expect from